Welcome to Learning Unit number 3. In this learning unit, we're going to be discussing legislation and politics. And you're going to be able to complete, by the end of this learning unit, a SWOT analysis on your champion that you've chosen. Now, the book does a great job of reviewing the government as far as state and national levels of government. And you might feel like you're back in high school again, but this is a really good review. And it's essential, really, to best understand the structure of government before we can go on to really be an advocate for change in public policy and to be a healthcare policy entrepreneur. So at the end of this unit, you're going to be able to identify state, or you're going to be able to identify a state or national legislator, legislative staff member, or perhaps even a professional nursing organization officer as being the appropriate champion for your chosen healthcare policy topic. And as you did last week, you identified that policy. You're going to create a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, on the champion, on the person that you've identified here, their ability to address the healthcare policy issue. And you're also going to be able to better be informed about and discuss the structure of our government, the political process, and politics to advance legislation. So by the end of this learning unit, you should have completed reading Chapter 5. So Chapter 5 isn't a difficult chapter. It may be a lot of review for you. It may be really stretching back to remember all of the specifics, like it was a bit for me. And you're also you're reading Chapter 5. You're really immersing yourself in Chapter 5. But I also want you to start looking at, and for this week, just look at, scan, see what information, see what resources are available to you in Chapter 12 that might help you as you go forward. And I might bring up Chapter 12 frequently throughout this course. But there's some really good information. Chapter 12 is entitled An Insider's Guide to Engaging in Policy Activities. You're going to participate in your discussion and complete your assignment number 2, which is choosing a champion. So I have 2 different sites here. First, how to contact elected officials. And this is USA Gov, and it goes both at the state and federal levels. Then there's the American Nursing Association is commented on as far as, let me just get back to the page in your text. So I was on Chapter 5 here. So in Chapter 5, the text does talk to you about the American Nursing Association. I'm still looking for Chapter 5, believe it or not. So on page 115 it was. And it talks to you about professional nursing organizations. But it specifically brings up the American Nursing Association. And this link is just a brief video, but it's for the RN Action Advocacy group of the American Nursing Association. So you can go to the website after watching this video, if you do believe that this is going to be helpful for you to pursue identification and choosing your champion. Then here is some information that if you're not familiar with a SWOT analysis, that might be helpful for you. We have a discussion board. And this discussion board is kind of, I think will be very interesting. And it will be interesting to hear or view others' discussion board too. So for this, I want you to use an elevator speech. Some people call it an elevator pitch about your healthcare policy issue. And you are putting this brief under 60-second speech together so that if you met your policy champion on an elevator, you could provide the foundation of what you are interested in, why you're interested in, what do you think needs to be done, etc., in 60 seconds or less. So this is so it's a pitch to your policy champion. So here is the information that you're going to respond to. Again, it's no longer than 60 seconds. And you can do a video or audio recording of yourself giving the speech. I know we're all pressed for time, so doing a video sometimes may be a little bit more difficult as far as you have to practice it a bit. Audio, maybe you're reading off your screen or you're reading off information that you have right there. It might be a little bit easier, but I want you to be able to put together this information in a very quick speech. So sometimes elevator speech are like 30 or 35 seconds. I just want you to stick to under 60. And so you're going to either view or listen to your peers' evaluator speeches and give feedback on at least one. So going back to that, the folder that's linked above that, you can find in your assignment tab. But our instructional designer helped me to put this together. So for an audio or a video, you may already be skilled in using Screencast-O-Matic or YouTube or another software program. You might, but what's included in here is our discussion board. It's just another way to access it. But how to do Screencast-O-Matic for an audio and video. So this gives you both, right? That's what we need. No sense in just looking at you without hearing your elevator speech. And Audacity, which I use oftentimes just to provide an audio link. After you've used it once, it's really, really simple. And I like using it, and it's easy to post. So the instructional designer has put together this information for you, available right there for you. But if you already know what you're doing, just go ahead and you're going to add it to your discussion board post. So you're going to start your thread, put your name, and then add the file. And the final thing you're going to do is your assignment number 2. So choosing a champion, your SWOT analysis. And I want you to remember that because no champion is going to be perfect for every issue, obviously, we have to be able to really objectively analyze what the person that we choose to be our champion's strengths, weaknesses are, and whether they're in an environment that they'll have the opportunity to bring forward our issue, or whether there's threats to that environment that they're in. So again, when you're considering a champion, you often want to go right to the legislator, and maybe sometimes you have to go through, and it's most appropriate to go through the legislative staff member. But don't forget also about a professional nursing organization such as the ANA, and you can choose one of the personnel or elected officers to that professional nursing organization that is involved in policy. So again, you're doing it on one of your 3 issues. And if I just go back here to the side link, if you were over on the side link, you would be able to see policy issues is one of the tabs. And again, go back to that and make sure that you're looking through that information on your policy issue, because it talks about bills that are active or have been active in the past at both state and national levels, if appropriate to your policy issue. So go back to that. If you are finding wonderful information that you would like me to post onto that site for your peers who may also be doing the same policy issue, please email me that. And please know that this is, policy change is a collaborative move. So as you go forward, if you see that one of your classmates is also working on the same policy and perhaps in the same state, or perhaps not, it might be interesting to see state differences, that you can start working together, sharing information. And I do appreciate if you if you find additional information for your topic. That's very helpful. Please let me know and I'll post it. And that's it for this learning unit. And I know sometimes it seems to be a lot as you're working a very busy schedule, family obligations, etc. However, remember, it is a mini, and there are requirements that we, the faculty, have to meet as far as timing. So let me know how you're doing. And for some of you, this isn't, this is exciting and fun. Others maybe more dragging your feet. And I think our readings are really addressing how many nurses aren't involved in healthcare policy and why. I mean, some good reasons for it, right? The busyness, the time needed for self-care and everything after a busy 12-hour plus shift. So just hang in there, know the importance, know that it's building your knowledge level on something that truly can significantly impact on the patients that we care for and the staff that we lead. Thank you, nurse leaders and nurse entrepreneurs in policy.